So you're going to practice. You're sitting down with your instrument and you're ready. You know the tools. Take it slow. Take it in chunks. Take it apart. Work on it in sections. But what do you do when you practice? How do you practice? Well, let's dive into that a little bit today. One of the things that's really important is warming up. How do you warm up? Well, there's lots of different ways to do it. I have friends who run marathons and half marathons and do Ironman challenges and things like that. And of course, they're not going to wake up first thing in the morning and say, I think I'm going to run a marathon today. That would be silly. And that would cause lots of pain and injury because they're not prepared. They're not ready. So they spend lots of time training and preparing and getting themselves ready. Same thing for us when we practice our instrument. Whether that's we're sitting down with the piano, one of the first things that I do when I play the piano is I actually start with my hands because, well, that's what I'm actually making the sound happen, right? My fingers, my hands, all that's really important. So the first thing I do is I just shake my hands, right? Just let them relax, let them get ready, right? Just kind of, hey, here we go. And then I'll just kind of push my hands together and just kind of rub a little bit, give myself a little hand massage, right? Working on the palms of my hands here, working on my fingers, and then just doing some exercises and moving my hands. If I'm singing, it's the same idea, except for, of course, now my instrument's right here. It's my voice. And, of course, we do lots of warming up when we're talking, but helping to vocally warm yourself up not only helps to get your voice physically prepared, it helps to engage the old brain here. So that's the idea, is when I'm warming up, I'm starting off first thing in the morning, I'm humming. Because humming is one of the best things to do for your voice to start off with. And then I start with a nice ah, right? I work on just focusing on my vowels and ah, real slow, real long. Just let it all work itself out. I'm focusing on breath as much as I can. If I have my trumpet, which is right here, I start with my mouthpiece, right? And I start buzzing because, well, that's how you make the sound on the trumpet or any wind instrument. You're starting with whatever it is that you're making wind happen with. First thing before I get to the mouthpiece is I'm starting with breath because we have to have that breath to make the sound happen. So with my mouthpiece, I start, you notice I did it already, I start to lick my lips because for any brass instrument, really for any wind instrument, you need to have that moisture going on. But for brass, especially because you're buzzing your lips, such a lovely sound, isn't it? But I start with that. And then as I'm going along, I'm working on stretching that breath, making that tone be the best that it can be. All those things are great ways to start off your practice. But then let's get into the nitty gritty of what do you do when you're practicing? What should you be working on? Well, clearly, if you have something that you've been assigned by your instructor to work on, that would be an important thing. However, one of the things that I found, and way back when I took piano lessons and really did anything musical, and didn't want to practice because I never liked practicing, one of the things that my mom would tell me is start off with something fun. Start off with something you want to do. That's a great way to go. So, because of course I had lots of scales and technical exercises, I didn't want to start with those, but I use those as part of my warm-up. So if you're assigned scales and technical exercises, get to work on those too as good warm-ups for your hands. But pick something fun. Pick something that you've already played that you know really, really well. That's just one of your most favorite things to perform. Work on that, bring it up, just spend a couple minutes with it, play it through maybe once or twice or whatever it is, and maybe you'll notice that, oh, hey, there's a spot right there I need to pay attention to. You work on that a little bit. Then dive into what you're having to work on, right? And as you're doing that, then you're kind of diving into all those details on the how to practice, right? Taking it apart, working on it in sections, working on it slowly, starting at the back, working forward, all those different things. And you work on that and you really get to that point where you feel like, okay, I got this down really good. Then go to something else fun, right? So it's kind of a fun sandwich, right? Because you're couching the work with fun, because here's the thing, and it's the dirty secret we don't always talk about. I'm probably going to come back to this again at some point in the future. What is it that we're doing with our musical instruments? We're playing them. So what does that mean? Well, play means to have fun and enjoy it, right? We're doing this because we enjoy it. Hopefully, if you're not, then we got some problems. But having fun along with the work, because there is work that happens, is when you're working on it and couching it in that way. So you warm up, you do something fun, you do the work that you're supposed to do, then you finish with one or two more fun things, and ta-da, you're done. And just like that, you're going to notice that the time has blown by, and you've got lots of time spent with your instrument. It's a great way to go. But of course, the fun of it is you can do it how it works best for you. You could say, you know what, I just want to get this tough stuff over with right off the bat. So you do your warm-ups, you hit your hard stuff that you're working on for your assignment, and then you finish with the fun. That works too. It's really figuring out what is best for you and what your rhythm is for your practicing. So, get to practicing, have fun, and I will talk to you again very soon.